Hey everybody, welcome to the Art of Comics. I'm your host, Andre Salazar. Today I'm going to do some inking. I'm going to ink some heads. These are all heads that I copied from some Alex Toth book called Setting the Standard, about his work he did with Standard Comics. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to ink them. So I drew these on blue line pencil. Just free-handed, of course, looking at the comics. And I'm just focusing on profiles today. So I'm just doing a bunch of profiles. I'm going to use some Dr. P.H. Martin Black Star. I'm going to use a Series 7 Saber Winsor Newton. I'm going to use this little deleter G pen. And I'm just going to do that. This is really just kind of practice and just kind of get my feeling for how Toth did his profiles. And so as you can tell, a lot of these are very similar, but I thought it'd be fun to do. So I'm always, since I'm a left-handy, I'm gonna always start from the top right, so I don't smudge stuff, which might be a little harder to see for you guys. I'll try to move it a little bit more for you guys. Let's see. Hopefully my big nugget's gonna not be in that shot all the time. So I'm just gonna ink this stuff just to practice. It's just kind of like loosening up a little bit, kind of like I might use this for some kind of reference for when I do some shots of heads, you know, just to kind of like get a sense of how he did his lines. And I kind of like the look of the blue line, but I don't think I'll do any more than this. I mean, I could, I guess, scan it in for some unknown reason. I don't know why I would. But for some reason, I've always kind of liked the blue undercolor of it. It's kind of neat. And I might use brush for a lot of the hair, because I'm not really focused on the hair so much. I don't really care about that. But a lot of people spin the paper a lot. I don't. I probably should. But I generally don't spin the paper a whole lot. Can you guys see that? Is that working? Yeah, you guys can see that pretty decently. Okay. So I'm just gonna sit here and draw. Now I'm using my phone to record this. I don't have a good webcam camera. The one I got I got it on Amazon for like $40. It's crappy. I need to spend like a couple $100 on a true camera. And maybe if I get some more Patreons, I could do that and save up some money for it. That'd be good. But until then, I'm just using my camera, so I can't do any live shows well. You know, of course this would be much better if it was live, just because then I can like chat with you guys and stuff, but it is what it is. Maybe soon, hopefully I can get it together. I'm just keeping it a little loose here on some of this hair stuff. I'm not too worried about it. I was gonna play some music, but you know, if you play music on YouTube, they will shut it down, or they will like say this, that, and the other. So I was just like, forget it. Okay, 1 down, 30 to go. So you do try to like get some line variation widths wise. To make it kind of a little more interesting. I probably screwed that up a little bit, but it's okay. If this was finished, I would fix it. And I could also do that like digitally too, which is really nice nowadays. You can kind of just, if things don't look right, you can always just kind of fix it up. What I loved about Toth, what really attracts me to Toth is he distills everything down, boils it down to like the most critical stuff, so that just the most minimal lines can convey the form, but yet the form's really well done. It's not just like stick figured, but these lines that he's putting in here are critical for conveying what it is. But it's really just really well done. And I'm not nearly as good, of course, as his stuff, but I figure the only way to be that good is to practice and just kind of spend time on it. So as I'm working on my new book, I do a lot of exercises like this just to kind of keep you going. And if I could go back to the original drawing, the original pages of these, and kind of like look at how the hair is done, but it's not really that important to me. So I'm kind of just going off feelings. I might even use some of these markers and things like that too. I'm a little twisted up because I'm recording this with you guys. Like I wouldn't kind of position myself quite right. So I'm gonna have to just move things around just a little bit. Again, I'm a little nervous that my big noggin is gonna be in the way of the whole shot. But hopefully it won't be. Or my hand. Maybe if I put my camera this way over here, it could go a little bit better, but then I'm not sure how to do that. I'll have to like set up a table or something. Yeah, like this one is a real pain in the butt to get. Yeah, darn it. The problem with these things too is that it's pretty fine, but if you don't clean it, and sometimes I use a little blade, this will get a little clogged and you can't get this fine line. So I don't know if it's a good idea to do this, but I'll kind of get a blade a little bit and just kind of like get some of the crusted ink and stuff. I think it's on here. Just to, hopefully I don't slice my finger off. You know, you kind of can see it, especially on the back side. You see a lot of this kind of get really crusty on here. So try to clean that up a little bit. Darn it. Problem with it too is you will, if you're not careful, you will jack it up. So I'm just gonna kind of clean this up a little bit. Let me just chipping away at the rusted all. Okay. So we got, got this whole COVID thing going on here. Working from home and everything gets stressful at times, but so far so good. I can't really complain. We live in a little quiet beach city, little town. So we're lucky we're not in a big, metropolitan area. I feel like women are so much harder to do. The elements of beauty are so like instant that if it doesn't look right, you just know right away. Or I think guys can get away with looking a little more freaky when it comes to stuff. You could put a little bit more character in them and it'd be okay. He, Alex Toth worked really hard at women. He studied a lot of the old movies back in the, this was made in the 50s. So he would study, Audrey Hepburn, and Gene Kelly, all these classics, and he would study them in film because he wanted to kind of like see how women moved and just the beauty lines, and again reducing things down to the simplest stuff. And a lot of the classic illustrators did the same thing, of course. And so it's in comics, it's important because you have very few lines to work with to kind of like convey the certain concept. Some of these aren't my favorite sketches of his that he did, but it's okay. Like this one's not really that good, and part of it could be my rendering of it. But I remember doing it, I was like, I don't really care for this one he did, but I wanted to just keep doing as many as I could of his work. Put this over there. Okay. I'm gonna use some brush on that. What else has been going on? I just saw that movie Brightburn. It's this movie by is it Michael Gunn? Is that who did the Guardians of the Galaxy films? Gunn, Peter Gunn? No, I think it's Michael Gunn, somebody like that. It's basically what if Clark Kent was evil, and Kansas family finds a boy, from a spaceship, but instead of him being Superman, he's like has this almost demonic voices from his heritage speaking to him about ruling the world and stuff. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's kind of dark. I mean, of course, it's very dark. And you're the whole time you're thinking like, I want this kid to freaking go down, dude. I won't spoil the ending, but it's good. It's pretty good. I'm kind of more into like more happy-go-lucky stuff, to be honest, than these kind of sadder films. And that says something, because my wife will tell you I love sad movies, and I love movies that are like bad stuff's going on. See, I like this one's actually really nice. I'm starting to get into it. It takes a couple faces, right, before you can kind of like before you can start feeling it. Starting to feel this one. Okay, so there's that. This one here. Some of these are a little more cartoony too. If you look at this guy here. Yeah, darn it. I screwed that up. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. And I'm gonna use a brush now and do some brush work here. And brush these guys up. And that's what we'll do next. Okay. I will not feel bad if you decide to 2 times this video because it's gonna be long. So that's okay with me. Okay, let's do this now. Let's dry. I gotta check this because I always wind up putting in ink and I put my big freaking palm right in the middle of it. So I gotta see what's dry. All this here's wet still. So let's see if I can. This is dry. That's wet right there. Is that okay? What's nice about the brush, is the brush is just gives such a nice smooth line. You can really clean up some of these things that just didn't work good with the crow quill. Of course, I might have to put a little white on that because I made it a little bit too big. That's okay. place, and this is not dry stone. I might even try to do this one with brush. Trick is you got to roll the brush a bit with to get at the point. These are series 7. They're sable brushes. They're kind of the most expensive kind of inking type brushes. They're kind of classic. Inkers used a long time ago for years and years, and they're kind of harder to get because because the sable is kind of like a fox-like creature, and it's endangered, and so they're expensive and they're kind of hard to find and hard to get. But I've had this for like probably 25 years, or not 25, but a good 20 years. This one brush, I just like keep it in really good condition. I always wash it with soap after I use it, and put oil on it. Yeah, I always kind of like take good care of it. So you can keep a brush that lasts a long time. You just gotta take care of it. I'm just gonna do a couple of lines. Sometimes it's kind of fun to use brush. I find the brush is quicker actually than the crow quill. And if you got your jam going, like I have, I feel like I'm doing okay right now. It's quicker and it dries quicker, that's for sure. And you can kind of do some cool lines on it. You know. It was like a little. He was in like this little like a ball thing. That was kind of neat, like a '50s Wally Wood kind of a deal. This character was a lot more cartoony. Not a lot of detail. Just kind of just a few lines. But I want to again, kind of like do this. He went for a lot. He went from like a realistic look to a much more basic kind of cartoon look at times. And I'm assuming that was just due to the story, right? This is how the story needed to be told and everything. Not that bad. Okay. Ra-pa-pa. Actually, kind of like doing this on with brush now. There's a couple spots like in the eyes and stuff. I feel like you kind of need maybe the crow quill. Like I kind of messed that up right there. I didn't do that right. Put a little bit of kind of dry brush on there just for fun. Okay. Should we do that one brush too? Yeah, why not? We're kind of getting in this brush mode here. Why not? Let's just finish this up. Again, it is. I feel like it's quicker. I'm able to do these a lot quicker than the others. I'll do some of these eyes. I'll go back and do these with the deleter. Last one. Okay. Okay, let's do a couple of those spots. We'll call this. Okay. Let me check to see what's wet. I think everything looks pretty dry. Yeah, this hair is all jacked up. We're just gonna let's just deal with that. It's okay. I do want to do these glasses here. Okay, I think that's it. So there you go. This is a kind of just doing some headshots. That'd be kind of fun to do with a la Alex Toth. I actually have a whole nother page of them, which I'll do these, but I don't know if I'll record that or not. Maybe I'll just do that on my own. So thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you later.